Just like October 7th was the pretext to go in and ethnically cleanse Gaza and the West Bank, they're using this to break the ceasefire and continue the ethnic cleansing and the genocide of the Palestinians. Just to let you know, Israel's already planning to start bombing Palestine again. Yep, they're already planning. Israel officials are openly saying they plan to resume attacks on Gaza. Israel's top officials are openly declaring that they intend to terminate the Gaza ceasefire after they get their hostages back. Defense Minister Israel Katz, who has a great deli, has posted a tweet in Hebrew, which translates as follows. Here, you ready? Israel's great challenge after the phase of returning the hostages will be the destruction of all of Hamas's terror tunnels in Gaza, directly by the IDF and through the international mechanism to be established under the leadership and supervision of the United States. This is the primary significance of implementing the agreed-upon principle of demilitarizing Gaza and neutralizing Hamas of its weapons. I have instructed the IDF to prepare for carrying out this mission.
Why don't you stop giving them money for weapons? How about that?
That's right. That's right. And they never say, and by the way, we're going to stop funding them. So Hamas has not agreed to any demilitarization or destruction of its tunnels. There is no way to demilitarize Gaza and neutralize Hamas of its weapons against their will without continued warfare, something Israel has demonstrated it cannot do without killing shocking numbers of civilians. Katz's comments echo the public statements of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who said in a televised speech on Friday that Hamas will be disarmed and Gaza will be demilitarized. And that if Hamas doesn't disarm voluntarily, then it will be achieved the hard way.
Oh, is that trafficking children to our government?
Yeah. In another statement, Netanyahu said, "We have achieved tremendous victories, but the campaign is not over. Part of our enemies are trying to recover." So they're already gearing up to do this.
You know, don't say campaign.
I know.
Stop making it seem like you're running a campaign.
I know.
You're running a murdering operation.
A slaughter operation. Israel outlet Ynet reports that Israel is planning to resume its blockade and prevent reconstruction if all the bodies of the deceased captives are not returned, when Israel already knows that Hamas probably won't be able to locate all the bodies of deceased Israeli captives due to the intensity of the Israeli bombing campaign over the last 2 years, which was part of Israel's plan.
Remember when they shot their own citizens who'd escaped from Hamas?
They most likely killed more of their own citizens on October 7th, 2023 than Hamas did. And it's called the Hannibal Directive. And that's why they were shooting tank mortars and they had Apache helicopters and they were shooting their own people.
There's no burned out cars from people in hang gliders shooting AKs. That's not a thing.
You remember that row of burned out cars, completely burned out? That wasn't done by Hamas guys in Adidas sweatpants and hang gliders. That was done by the Israeli military. They did it to themselves.
They have a policy where they do that. That's public. You can find out.
It's called the Hannibal Directive. They have a policy of doing it. If Hamas does not cooperate with the return process and Israel suspects that it is deliberately hiding the bodies in order to preserve them as a bargaining chip, it is expected to impose a series of sanctions on it, including preventing the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip, the entry of caravans, the opening of bakeries, and the entry of civilian equipment. That's what Ynet, the Israeli newspaper, reports. In a recent article titled Israel assesses Hamas may not be able to return all remaining dead hostages, CNN reports that sources say the Israeli government is aware that Hamas may not know the location of or is unable to retrieve the remains of some of the 28 remaining deceased hostages. As noted by Shel Ben Ephraim, these two pieces of information would seem to indicate that Israel is planning to use the unreturned bodies as a pretext to break the ceasefire and continuing slaughtering the Palestinians. This is from the Daily Mail. What has Hamas done to the bodies of the dead Israeli hostages? Relatives face anguish after terrorists claim they don't know where some of them are.
Go look at the pictures of Gaza, you dumb shit, so they'll tell you where they are.
Yeah,
morons.
It's probably under the rubble. In blatant breach, Hamas returns only 4 of 28 bodies of hostages. So they're already saying They already have just like October 7th was the pretext to go in and ethnically cleanse Gaza and the West Bank, they're using this to break the ceasefire and continue the ethnic cleansing and the genocide of the Palestinians. At times of Israel, if Hamas deliberately delays returning bodies of dead hostages, it's in violation of the deal. So they already know that. So they already know that they're going to break this deal. It's just a matter of when. Just like we reported it when this deal was announced. It is
Probably
perhaps
when Trump gets his Nobel Prize will be the perfect day to break the deal.
Yeah, they should break it when Trump. Yeah, it is perhaps somewhat noteworthy that Israel's open preparations to resume the onslaught in Gaza directly contradict the statements of the President of the United States. Asked by the press about Netanyahu's refusal to say that the war in Gaza is over, Trump forcefully stated, "The war is over. The war is over, okay? You understand that?"
Is it? Is it like Ukraine, asshole?
Trump suggested, without stating outright, that he has received verbal guarantees from Israel that the violence will not resume.
Well, that's worth something.
Yeah, that's really worth something.
A verbal agreement from Israel. Wow.
I would sooner trust Diddy to give me a back rub than Netanyahu to follow through on a peace deal. How about that?
I'd trust him to give me a drink and a back rub, Jimmy.
Yeah. So here we have Israeli officials openly and explicitly saying that the attacks on Gaza have not ended, and the U.S. president saying that they have. It's not often you see these two governments directly contradicting each other with mutually exclusive positions in ways that will necessarily be proven or disproven by the events which follow. So I guess we're about to find out who has ultimately been in charge of the Gaza genocide this whole time.
Yeah.
We're about to find out. And
well,
that's
we already know, because you know how America has a great record of breaking every treaty.
Yeah.
Who is the only people more scumbag than us in this world?
Let's find. We're going to find out. So Zachary Foster. So it says a history of ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas, 2008 to present. Israel and Hamas signed at least 6 deals. Did you know this? In 2008, in 2012, 2014, 2019, 2021, and now 2025. Deal number 7 was apparently agreed upon yesterday. Each deal followed a similar trajectory. Hamas mostly observed it. Israel mostly did not, praying this time will be different. So here is freak show in Egypt. Leaders of Egypt, Qatar, the U.S., Turkey signed a final ceasefire agreement in Gaza at the peace summit in Sharm el-Sheikh, I guess how you say it. Hamas and Israel haven't signed anything. So what's the point of all this masquerade? Make statements, make videos, and that's it? Let's watch. Here they are. Here they are all signing it. This guy looks like he owns a dry cleaners. Doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
Looks like it's time to make the donuts.
It's Milton Eddies.
Okay.
Doesn't he look like Milton Eddies?
Who's that?
That's the dry cleaner in Burbank. They're open 24 hours. That's 365 days a year. That's my free plug for them.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too.
Oh,
It's going to hold up.
really?
Okay.
Or else what?
Or else what? Or else you're going to
Okay,
do
thank you.
Benjamin Netanyahu's laundry?
You can use my
You're going to say a no word on CNN?
Okay.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You didn't release the Epstein thing. That means this is all bullshit. That Epstein thing, everything hinges on that. And half the government wants to keep it a secret. That should tell you what your government is.
It does me. And come hear me tell my jokes about this in Irvine, California, Sydney, Australia, Burbank, California. The day after Thanksgiving, Pottstown, and January 11th, we're going to be in Waikiki at the Blue Note. Beautiful place. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. October 19th, we'll be in Irvine, California. Then we'll be in Australia. Then we'll be in Burbank, California, the day after Thanksgiving. And then Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Hey, check out this story we covered about Putin and Xi discussing immortality through repeated organ transplants. Click the video on screen to watch.